controller at a warm deep fryer that charm cobras. Mostly it was aggravated ulcers over goat's legs. Will they go for maple custard, buttermilk, or wolf's bane? Later for your Cinderella pulsating crash. I was rotating casts. Picture if you will a witching hour on a weeknight in the trenches, where paranoia dead ends in a bright fluorescent heaven with sprinkles. I know, right? Yum. With a tummy-ache fever, keep the funnel cake. I'm honey glazed in vitro in a company of similar believers. Sleepless, we hear the wolves breathe and foam at the facial features. Not a yeast, a phoenix and a partially hydrogenated equal parts flower, faith healing. Might replace your previously nominated Jesus, but only if you're privy to the following secret of all secrets.
Every night at 12 there was more chap in the back, but a trail brought dough for the pool of hot yak. Show up around one, never get your god back.
If you're just tuning in, walk into the light. Walk into the light.
That is awesome.
A boiled oil too, not for scarping. But CC's a Japanese innovation at screeching a free parking. Purple heart and second chin at beseeching to squeeze the carbs into the motherboard. You could chew the Eucharist in crawler form. Locally a seedy Danish underworld is bustling, where jelly's not a celebrated stuffing, it's a puppet string. Pluck, nose for canola. 5 cow stomachs like a mime with a rope going nowhere fast. Right-handed guide on my shoulder, crow's feet swollen, note becoming apple fritters over with folk of opposing cultures. Babysitter, cop, thief, reverend, body glitter, botched C-section, bronze teeth, each progressively more sequestered, yet is threatened. They'll defend the raisin bread as co-defendants. Some lose religion and view it as superstition. You could tell a friend if you were down to kill them.
Every night at 12 there was more chap in the back, but a trail brought dough for the pool of hot yak. Show up around one, never get your god back.
If you're just tuning in, walk into the light. Walk into the light.
Fantastic.
The fat boys are back. Foam fingers over open arms to feverishly reclaim their stomachs from golden jars. Stagger through the pulse of the gulch on a builder's dividends, hiding high behind his guilty patterned cigar fingerprints. Seething even side fever, sidewalk feeling a little dicey. I'm snake eyes straight to the cake's icing. Might fortune teller up your favorite paper tiger stripe. Great grace invaders, the first name basis patron haters who compromise the palate light and flavor. Silent night, holy night, invite the pious of the pagan. Midnight kitchen door uncaging the enablers like butchers in bloody aprons. Can I get a fucking amen? Hazelnut raiders of the lost navigate consecutive pastries like stations of the cross. No name, no day job, not a boat where it's Virgin Mary toast by the loaf. Thanks, Bob.
Every night at 12 there was more chap in the back, but a trail brought dough for the pool of hot yak. Show up around one, never get your god back.
If you're just tuning in, walk into the light. Walk into the light.
Ain't no way to explain or say how painful the hangover was today. In front of the toilet, hands and knees, trying to breathe in between the dry heaves. My baby made me some coffee, afraid that if I drink some, it's probably coming right back out me. Couple of Advil, relax and chill at a standstill with how bad I feel. I think I need to smell fresh air, so I stepped out the back door and fell down the stairs. The sunlight hit me dead in the eye, like it's mad that I gave half the day to last night. My bad sight made me trip on my ass right into that patch of grass, like that's life. All of a sudden, I realized something. The weather is amazing, even the birds are bumping. Stood up and took a look and a breath, and there's that bike that I forgot that I possessed. Never really seen exercise as friendly, but I think something's telling me to ride that 10 speed. The brakes are broken, it's alright. The tires got air and the chain seems tight. Hopped on, it felt the summertime. It reminds me of one of them Moosab lines, like sunshine, sunshine is fine. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Sunshine, sunshine is fine. I feel it in my skin.
All right, we are going to be getting started here in just about 3 minutes, but first, we want to thank Neg Derpsnest for following on Twitch. Beer Bongo for subscribing over at youtube.com/pressx2alex. Street317 for following on Twitch. We want to thank Jazzy for contributing to patreon.com/pressx2alex. We also want to thank Dungeons and Daniels for following on Twitch. Spock for following on Twitch. Queen City _ for following on Twitch. And we want to thank Josh Nichols for pledging over at patreon.com/pressx2alex, as well as Lisa for pledging over at patreon.com/pressx2alex. We're getting started here with some NBA Jam and some Game 3 discussion in just about 2 minutes, so just hang tight and we will be here for you in a couple.
Riding my bike around these lakes, man, feeling like I finally figured out my escape plan. Take it all in. The day started off all wrong, but somehow now that hangover is all gone. Ain't nothing like the sound of the leaves when the breeze penetrates these southside trees. Leaning up against one, watching the vibe, forgetting all about the stress, thanking God I'm alive. It's so simple, I had to keep the song simple. And when I get home, I'm gonna open all the windows, feeling alright. Stopped at a stop sign, a car pulled up, bumping Fresh Prince's Summertime. Summer, summer, sign. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Sunshine, sunshine, it's fine. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it. I thought I saw you yesterday, but I didn't stop, cause you was walking the opposite way. I guess I could've shouted out your name, but even if it was you, I don't know what I would say. We could sit and reminisce about the old school, maybe share a cigarette because we both fools. Chop it up and compare perspectives, life, love, stress and setbacks. Yeah, so you could tell me how hard you had it, and you can show me all the scars to back it. And we can analyze each complaint, break it down and explain these mistakes I make. I like to tangle up the strings of the puppet.
And can we? Hey Tim,
Hey, buddy.
how are you doing?
I'm pumped. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. I don't typically do these with other people, you know. Like
I know.
It's just it's a one-man band.
Well, I've been on here twice technically because you ripped me to shreds on your SmackDown versus Raw feed.
That's because you were talking shit.
Okay, I actually just wanted Paul Burchill to be a primetime player.
So do I. All right, and that's the frustrating thing, is because I can't get him there.
That game is so, like, the limitations in GM mode make it like the only way you can potentially win is if you do the 2-player thing where you put all the good guys on one roster.
Right.
That's the only way.
The difference between
I think it was like a gold trophy though, wasn't it?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I know there's no trophies prior to there's no trophies that matter in the PlayStation world, except for the PS3 trophies. If you got endgame shit and your PS2 it doesn't count.
Right.
It doesn't count. That's not what we're about here. But what we are about this week is some of that there NBA Jam.
So stoked.
So we're doing some NBA Jam TE. This is the Genesis version of this gym, the Genesis. I don't know the last time I played this, but we're gonna rock some old school NBA games, maybe some college ball later on the PS2. We'll see. If you're joining us, welcome. If you see up at the top there, you will see the scroll that is the schedule for E3. And so if you want to know what I'm going to be doing for E3, we're going to be going live a few minutes before each of those conferences start, and then post shows to follow after each one, with Ubisoft and Nintendo to be done probably Tuesday, because I gotta work while those are going on. We're not gonna keep any records, but so get in there, man. Get in there. Press the start.
I am pressing
Is that
start.
controller busted?
Might be.
All right, let me swap out a controller. You entertain the kids.
Well, hey guys. So
Pimp your shit.
Yeah, so obviously, Alex and I have been friends for a decade now, just about. But we worked together on a pod called 48 Minutes. It still exists without Alex, but it's just not the same.
Better.
I'm kidding. So yeah, if you're a hoop guy, if you're a hoop fan, I should say, 48 Minutes Network on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, everything Alex is on just about. We're also not on SoundCloud either. And then also doing a lot of finals talk right now, getting some draft prep together. So if you follow us, you subscribe to our RSS feeds, you're going to get 3 shows on our feed every week. We're going to get Shot Callers, with Ben Brown and Kyle Brandon. Thank you. You're going to get myself and Sean Mackey of 48 Minutes Primer on Wednesdays. And then on Fridays, you're going to get At Large Bid, which I'm also on there. So if you don't like my voice, got another thing coming.
Oh, shit.
All right,
we're good.
I think this is kind of fun, too, for us because, like, when we started 48 Minutes together, we were like, how do we have this really cool opening that no one else has? Let's get Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam.
Right?
And, like...
I knew you were going to go Orlando.
I mean, dude, come on, you know.
Well, it's only fitting that I go Oriolage.
Well, you can't because there's no free throws in NBA Jam.
Well, it doesn't matter. I don't need that. I just need Elijah one to own your ass the whole time.
Well, that'll happen.
Yep. So we're gonna go Thorpaja one.
Yeah. So, but like, now we're doing this, and that's just, it's awesome.
It's a good time. Shit. Another fun fact: I don't know how to play this.
I don't either. I asked you before we started, and I was like,
A shoots.
All right, good to know. A jumps.
C passes. There we go. Bank shot from Thor. B is turbo. There we go.
Oh, good to know. Come on,
I'll
Penny.
get it. Oh yeah. Hakeem's gonna give it to you.
I don't think those are the lyrics, but I'm not downing you either.
Oh man, I should have picked Ori if I'm gonna just be hucking threes the whole time. Swat him. Oh what? Get the fuck out of here.
Come on, man. This is like Penny in that Heat series the first year after Shaq left.
And the Jets. That's not real.
No, it's not.
That's not a real song.
Ah.
It's cool. Nope. Oh!
It's like Nick Anderson's career after this finals.
Oh, jeez. Just can't make a free throw, just cursed. Like, I want to know what just, like, monkey's paw or, like, weird ancient, like, Pacific Island talisman he got his hands on that just absolutely decimated his free throw shooting.
I don't know, man. Because, like, you know, when people go back and they look at that, too, it's not like he was ever a bad free throw shooter, like, for his career.
No, he was great.
I know. Like, when, like, he got fouled, I remember, like, I was 6 during that finals. I was like, oh, okay, they're fine.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, they're not.
He misses them and then just can never shoot free throws
Ever again.
Oh.
But, I mean, like, we talk all the time,
on,
man.
come
Like,
on.
between, like, Shaq and Penny, it's like, who really is, like, Mr. Orlando Magic? It honestly kind of is Nick Anderson.
Yeah, but, you know, also, he fucked him.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
He did.
Yeah, call how it is, but...
Yeah, because, I mean, even they played in that finals in 09.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that was, like, the Dwight Howard, Jameer Nelson, J.J. Redick team.
Jesus.
They were super good.
Yeah.
They beat LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Made LeBron go to Miami. I'll just go to Florida myself and take these guys out.
Yeah. No, actually, that was the second to last year. Because his last series was the Celtics series before they played the Lakers.
Fucking, that's right.
Well, like, it's, you know, we've talked about it quite a few times. It's always funny to look at, like...
Get it? Oh, nah.
It's always funny to look at, like, that team LeBron's, like, to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh.
The Antoine Jameson team? Was it?
No, that was the year after.
That's right. Yeah. Got it.
That was the Donyell Marshall, Larry Hughes. All right, who do we substitute out? Do I go Hogrant and Penny?
Why don't you?
Absolutely. I need someone
Get
to...
those boards.
Yeah. Need someone to go with Hakeem down the block.
Board man get paid.
Yeah. So I know, I mean, you're not, obviously I know you're not working with us anymore. Are you still keeping up with with the NBA a lot?
I try to. Every now and then. Most recent...
I know I'll get your random text message of ideas from time to time for free agency, which I still always appreciate.
That's based solely off of who I think looks good in a jersey.
Yeah, still love
Yeah,
it.
that's how Al Jefferson ended up on the Pacers. You just text him like, "Hey Al, you look real good in pinstripes."
Well, I'm
but the Midwestern pinstripes.
I don't know if you've heard or not. Like, to talk about pinstripe teams, two of the teams that are really being linked to D'Angelo Russell right now are Orlando and Indiana. And I love both of those for
Yeah,
him.
I can see both those teams could use him. But no, I've been getting back into it since I don't find the sport as soulless as I started to. And a lot of that was just finals fatigue from
Seeing the same series.
3, 4, 5 years in a row. However, 4 years in a row was it?
Yeah.
We've been subjected to, and in 8 straight years of LeBron in the finals. Like it's one of those things that you get that sameness about it, and
Sure.
it stops being fun. That's kind of why I'm like not watching the current wrestling product with WWE.
I thought that was going in.
I almost made it. Go in. But now with like some fresh faces, I really wanted like I would have loved Blazers Raptors or Blazers Bucks or something
Sure.
like that. But that would have been hooping the harm, my friend. But yeah, getting that nice refreshing change of pace and kind of seeing like, and you know me, I'm a big Masai Ujiri guy.
Oh, yeah.
I love that Nuggets team he put together.
That's the Kenyon Martin, Allen Iverson team.
No. I'm talking like the Ty Lawson, Kenneth Fareed.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Aflalo team, like that really awesome, like end to end, like you could not outpace them. And then Fareed just made a career off of chase down blocks. But that was
That's
2012.
true.
At 2012, here we go, boom. So like seeing what he's done with the Raptors, and then I love just like basically how fucking
Horace Grant shooting threes.
well, I was gonna say Kawhi Leonard is basically, I know you're not a big Game of Thrones guy, but it's kind of like just Jon Snow, where it's like I want to be like where he's like, Kawhi's like I want to be traded, I don't want to be in San Antonio anymore. So like, all right, we're gonna send you to the furthest away team we possibly can. We're literally banishing you to as north as we possibly can send you, and with the highest income tax rates. So it's just like San Antonio, I think, kind of did like a dick move, and then for Toronto, and it's got I feel for DeMar DeRozan too.
Yeah, I do too.
For seeing that peak success from a team that he dedicated his career to, for them to up and trade him like that. But to get Kawhi out of it, you got to do what you got to do. But I mean, I love the fact that everybody was like, Kawhi's not going to stay there. Like this is a failed project. Like before we even know about it, you get Marc Gasol, you get Kyle Lowry's kind of like second coming and stuff like that, and they're in the finals now. But there's still that unsure, like, oh, is Kawhi going to stay? But I appreciate any team that will be like, hey, we've got the star player. We know it's a rental. Everyone's saying it's a rental. Don't come in here with that. Let's show them it's not a rental. Like, let's show our dedication to it.
Yeah.
And it's gotten them this far. And Kawhi's just a monster. So it's been refreshing.
Yeah, I was trying to think about, like, people talk about all the time, like, who would they compare Kawhi Leonard to? Mm-hmm. And, like, I've kind of come back to, and, like, only in the sense of development, what he's become, Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's, like,
Oh,
and not, like, because,
Ori.
Pippen was really, like, the only reason Pippen was the best player on this team because he had one of the best players, arguably the best player ever.
Correct, yeah.
Like, with Pippen, like, Pippen's the
Tony
second,
Kukoc.
right, Pippen's the second greatest Bull ever.
Yeah. Behind Stacey King.
Right. Stacey King, I was going to go with Kirk Heinrich.
Well, I mean, yeah. That depends on which GM you ask.
It's John Paxson, you know the answer.
Yep.
So like Pippen was like, wasn't a great offensive player when he first started playing. Like he first like got his name out there in college.
What a compliment, though, to
Oh,
Jordan
dude.
he was.
Yeah, like this isn't a dig on Kawhi at all. I think he's a more talented, more athletic guy than Pippen by all means, but
Yeah. Bigger hands.
that's
The thing with whoopsie. I always got when you're comparing people to Scottie Pippen, right? Like I always go back to how it was kind of used as a pejorative against LeBron.
Yeah.
When it was the whole like you'll never be Jordan, like before he had championships and stuff like that. The crowds would chant Scottie Pippen at him. As much as I don't like Chuck Swirsky, like dude made a really great point on Twitter one night when he was just like, Scottie Pippen's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Like,
Scottie
this
Pippen-
is stupid. The fans are stupid. I'm like, yeah, Chuck, you're right.
Did
For
Scottie
once.
Pippen make the All-50?
Probably.
I swore he did.
I mean, it doesn't matter. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a
Right.
Hall of Famer, All-Star, three-point champ? No. Was he?
Guarded all 5 positions. Yeah.
He was just this all-around great player from a fucking bummy-ass college.
Yeah, literally,
And-
like,
Like, you tell me another good thing that's coming out of Central Arkansas outside of... I got nothing. I don't know what's Arkansas's chief export. Tell me in the chat.
yeah, please. It's not
but-
my specialty.
Oh my god.
Get in there. Yeah, there we go.
Jeez, you just eliminated the Sixers with that one.
Well played.
But yeah, like,
I just figured out how to block shots finally. In the fourth quarter.
you know, we'll get there.
It's a good
Yeah,
game.
it's like to use Scottie Pippen as like an insult. I just think it's so funny.
Oh, it's the worst thing ever.
It's like, how dumb are you?
That's like RJ Barrett right now is the guy kind of people are talking about in the draft. I'm like, who's this comparison? You're like, I'm like, oh, it's basically DeMar DeRozan. And people are like, how can you say that? How dare you? Like, to compare him to DeRozan. I'm like, yeah, DeRozan's a very good NBA basketball player.
Yeah, DeRozan is like the current heart of the Spurs.
Yeah. Like, he is their franchise player now.
Right. For however long, you know, they have him or whatever.
Yeah, I think.
So where do you think Kawhi's going to go?
I really do buy into the Clipper thing because the thing like Sean Mackey, who we've both worked with for a while, and that it says, and we're at the point where it's so true now, is like there's no such thing as whispers in the NBA anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you hear about it in like October for July,
It's going to happen.
yeah, I mean obviously like LeBron Lakers is a prime example, but
That was just like the worst kept secret. You know?
yeah. But like think about it, man. Like they were like Kawhi's gonna want to get traded, and we're like, no, he's just hurt. He'll be fine. And then it's like, oh, he wants to get traded. So the Clippers makes a lot of sense to me. I really like the Clippers young core.
Yeah.
And I think just putting him there would just and it automatically makes him a contender.
Sure, and you got Doc coaching, and I think
Yeah.
Doc probably has like one good year left in him
Right.
as a coach. I think Doc's one of those coaches where he's great, but he's got to be surrounded by great players. He's not Popovich, who I think can take like an okay player like a George Hill, right? and
Like a
elevate
Derek
them.
White.
Yeah.
I don't know why I shot that.
I don't know. You got the rebound.
Oh
and
my
you
God.
fucked it up. But
Horace fucked it up.
Olajuwon, what are you doing, honey? No. Oh my God. My children, they betray me.
You
oh,
didn't
shit.
win on the last
Shit.
second.
Damn it.
That was a super good game.
What a low-scoring affair. But yeah, like I think Doc Rivers, you know, he's got to have those players around him, right? Like he's got to have those kind of like.
So Penny Hardaway had 44 of my 52.
Yeah, I think Ori had all the points except for 3. But he's one of those guys that has got to have like that kind of greatness around him.
For
right?
sure.
He's got to be. He can't just do it on his own.
Yeah, he's definitely like in this Clipper days gotten a ton better at player development.
Sure.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is like a perfect example of that. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is a point guard by trade who played small forward against the Warriors in a playoff series this year.
You gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
Absolutely.
You do what Papa Doc tells you to do.
It's a funny story. You know, our local Barcade 16-bit has the cabinet of this.
Yeah.
We went a couple weeks ago, and I played with, of course I played with the Sonics because everyone plays with that Sonics team.
Well, yeah.
These guys came in here and played with Mark Price and Brad Daugherty.
Was it Sean?
No, surprisingly it was not.
Because that's a Sean-ass move.
But like, I laugh because it literally was that thing we always talk about in 2K. If someone plays with the Warriors, you're like, okay, we know that guy can't play. But if they play with the Suns, you should be concerned. Yeah, and sure enough, Alex, that's exactly how that went down.
Oh God. That's always funny. It's like when they, like you said, when they pick like the best team. You're like, okay, like, I'm probably gonna fare pretty alright against you. But then you get the people like you said that pick the Suns or like one of those like there's lesser thans.
Yeah, it's not
And
like
you're just like, huh? Okay, so I'm not gonna fare well because this person probably only plays with this team.
yeah. That was like when I used to play Madden back in the day and I played with the Bengals. People were like, this guy plays with the Bengals.
Yeah.
And that was like the one thing I had going for me in sports video gaming.
The
On college football, I could run the Wildcat offense really well.
So with Madden, my thing was to always throw people off is I always play as the Lions. I was a big Joey Harrington mark.
It's the most random thing anyone's ever said.
Right? Like, you probably didn't know I existed. But I was like, I want him to do well. I want the Lions to do well. I like their color. I was just a fucking bullet. But, like, I like the colors. I wanted Harrington to do well because people were dogging on him, you know, for not being good. And I'm like, well, it's the Lions. What would you expect?
Right.
And
Player development wasn't exactly a specialty of the Detroit Lions for
it's
like
never been.
other
in the
than
history of
two
time.
players.
In the history, and they both quit.
Yes, they did.
They
And-
both decided, not only do I not want to play for another team, I just don't want to play football anymore. And I'm going to walk away from this thing that is making me a lot of money because this just isn't fun. They lost their smile, right?
yes.
And,
yes, to put it in wrestling terms.
And, Yeah, so I would always, I fucking mained the Lions all the time. What the hell, Peyton? You're trying to fight people. What are you doing?
I mean, that's Gary Payton.
I mean, he's the glove. You show him the love. But, like, yeah, so I would just, like, get online and people would be like, oh, the Lions? And I'm like, you have no idea what you're in for.
Yeah,
and
when-
I just get a bunch of quits. I'm like, oh, okay.
When I'd play in like the GameStop college football tournaments,
Oh, God, you did those?
I did really well in them.
Nice.
People would like play with like Oregon, and I was like, I know I got you guys. Like, this isn't gonna go your way.
Kemp, that is some straight up backcourt you just did. A lot. You gotta chill. Yeah, no, those were always funny. Not even to just like, I guess, attend as an employee was always fun.
Because people got way too into it.
Got way too into it and like mean about it. But the funny thing was,
I do it all the time. I keep trying to like just run towards a dunk, and I shoot like a CJ McCollum.
it's because you bogues them.
I was Grandma on.
Okay. Oh, Jesus, Peyton, come on. Aha!
Oh, I thought I had it.
What was? Oh, what?
I hate.
I was like, what fresh hell is this? But there was a time. This is my last year working at GameStop. So this would have been 2013 because it was my last Madden launch. We did a. I'm gonna do Kemp. Ooh, Kemp and deadlift? No.
I was say there would be no speed here because I'm about to do Zoe and Grandma.
Getting just all the boards and all the beef sandwiches, but
All the dunks.
So this one dude came up and goes, "Y'all having a Madden tournament?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'd run that shit. I'm gonna beat anybody there." I was like, "Cool, sign up, man." And he looks at the sign up list, eyeballs it, runs his finger down it, and then just goes, "No, no," and literally backs out of the store. Like, he just presented me with some sort of like sacred thing and was like, "It is your curse now."
It's like the friggin' Temple of the Doom.
Yeah, it was. I'm just like, what? Like, what the? Like, as I looked at the list, I'm like, did fucking Charles Manson sign up? Like, what is? Why is this man scared of our Madden tournament? I never found out why, and he didn't show up, which makes sense because he didn't sign up. But I was just kind of like, what? Why are you terrified all of a sudden? Like, I've never seen someone 180 their confidence like that, where they're just like, I'm gonna beat everybody, and they're just like, no. What?
My favorite Mad stories of yours was like when the former Bengal players would come in your store and they would check their ratings.
Check their ratings and bounce. Like, they walk in like 83. I'm like, all right, like, is that good? Like, yeah, I'm cool with it. I was like, okay, cool. And do you need to buy anything? Like, nope. All right, see you later, man. Glad I could help? Question mark. There's a funny Sean Kemp story.
Is this like he was gonna sign with the Bulls and then show up for the press conference? Funny.
I know you know it. It's and I've never really like gauged the validity of this. I've always just kind of taken Sean at his word, to be honest. But I do remember the Bulls were supposed to try out Sean Kemp, and it was during the Scott Skiles era. So it was like Heinrich and Dang and Gordon and all them, and Noach. I don't know if Curry was still on the team or not by then, but they were gonna work out Sean Kemp, and allegedly they had like the jersey for him and the contract for him and everything like that, and he just didn't show up. Like, they were like, yeah, we're just gonna hire him on the spot. And Sean Kemp's like, I don't need this.
He's like, I haven't gotten over 96.
Man, he had just one of those weird fall from graces, right? Kind of like Gilbert
Francis.
or Steve Francis.
Oh no, Gilbert's around now.
Gilbert's around, but he's not the same.
He's a bitter old man.
Sure.
Like, extremely to the max.
Naturally, as one should and would be if you're Gilbert Arenas. And your entire career is now being boiled down to you in a huddle making gun fingers.
And then actually having a gun in the locker room.
No. See, that was the thing. Is the gun fingers huddle came in after that.
Oh, yeah,
he got arrested for the gun possession, and then in his first game back in the huddle made the gun fingers, and the league was like, no, Gilbert, what are you doing? And he's like, I have my own blog on the website. And like, fuck, he does. He has too much power.
Yeah.
David Stern's like, rein Gilbert in.
Yeah, he like everyone always is like, hey man, I know you have a basketball pod. Have you listened to Gilbert Arenas' pod? I'm like, I have no interest in listening to Gilbert Arenas' podcast.
I think he has some good points sometimes.
He like,
Oh.
he's how would I put it politely? I mean, obviously, like Agent Zero and Tenure was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
it was funny when he was like peak Gilberting.
Oh my god,
while
yeah.
he had the blog. So he would go on and like the NBA's website or whatever and put a blog post up actually criticizing the league, right? So that the year Gasol got traded to the Lakers, and it was always that speculation like who's gonna go to Chicago? Is it gonna be Gasol? Is it gonna be Kobe? Like that was always the thing, is the Bulls had the pieces, but they didn't want to give up Deng and Gordon or whatever it would be. Jesus Christ.
This is great fundamental basketball.
And so, we all don't have depth perception. So that trade goes through where it's for, Powell's brother, who turns out, to be good, right? Like, it was that, that worked out, but it was also like Damari Carroll or some shit.
Right.
And Gilbert put a blog post up that was just like, I don't understand this trade. The Lakers are getting Pau Gasol for nothing. And he even put, like, Chicago would have given you something. Chicago had assets to offer, and you traded him for his brother and nothing. And I'm just like, how are you an active player doing this?
Which I always laugh at when, like people are like, well, it's bullshit the league didn't let them get Chris Paul. I'm like, you guys got Pau Gasol.
Well, the issue with the whole thing was the league owned the Clippers at the time. Or the league owned the Hornets.
Yeah, the New Orleans Hornets.
The no KCs.
Yes. The Pella Hornets, as I call them.
See, I would just like to remind everybody that Seattle was also affected by Hurricane Katrina. Not that it's a laughing matter. I'm just saying, like one thing led to another, and Seattle lost their basketball team. But it's yeah, because the league actually had partial ownership of the Hornets or whatever, and they're like, this makes us look bad.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Pau Gasol one, I'm like, who was the best player in the 2010 finals again? Oh, it was Pau Gasol.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they wouldn't have won. We talked about
Bill Simmons talked about that recently, too, I think.
We talked about it, what was it, 2 years ago we did the Conspiracy Theories episode?
Yes.
Back when the Corner 3 days?
Yes.
And I always highlight that one as my personal one, is drumming up the old Lakers-Celtics rivalry to mask Tim Donaghy from the offseason. Like, that thing. And then that, that led into Chicago getting the #1 pick and hometown boy Derrick Rose and all that stuff. Like, it was... That whole scenario, but from Donaghy to the Bulls drafting Derrick Rose is one of still, to me, like, one of the fishiest things I've ever experienced as an NBA fan.
And we'll never win the lottery ever again.
No.
Like, you guys had the most unlikely odds. We're gonna make sure you never have this happen to yourself ever again.
But I mean, also props to Adam Silver for absolutely getting rid of tanking.
Yeah.
Like, I did not think that was ever going to be a thing that they could do. And first try, they're like, yep, nope, it's gone.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Yeah.
So if you had to go back and think, where was this game in your Genesis rotation of games?
Very, very, very frequent.
Because I didn't have a Genesis as a kid. I had this for Super NES, and it was
Get it?
Yeah, it was definitely up there with obviously the Mario Brothers and things like that. And then NBA Live. Then NBA Live was like the next year, I think. NBA Live '96 with Mitch Richmond on the cover.
Okay, yeah.
With Coco Beware of Basketball on the cover.
It was a lot of this. It was a lot of Sega Sports MLB or World Series baseball.
Ken Griffey Jr. was obviously. Yeah.
See, I was a World Series baseball guy. A lot of NBA Jam, a lot of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2 as well. I'm trying to think of like, get it, dive.
Wait a minute. You can push someone, but you can't travel?
What? No. It's an arcade game, man. Come on. They don't call fouls. Kick out. No. I'm trying to think.
I gotta make a run.
Sonic, obviously, like the Sonic games. I'm trying to think of what's upstairs. Like, I'm like, what other Genesis games were there? The wrestling ones. So WWF
Shit.
Brawl.
That's probably it.
Rage in the Cage.
I gotta forget about Rage in the Cage.
Shit. WrestleMania, the arcade game, was another one.
All right.
One though.
1-1.
Rubber match.